Hello, YouTube friends. What you are about to watch is a preview of a film room on Florida linebacker Myles Graham. It is only a 10-minute preview of a full film breakdown. Again, the full film breakdown can be found on my website, daftOnDraft.football. That website link is in the corner of this little overlay. It is in the caption as well. Again, $8 a month, $80 for the year for a subscription to daftOnDraft.football, where you get the full film breakdown. You will get positional rankings. You'll get scouting reports, quarterback charting breakdowns, live chartings of me breaking down quarterback play live on tape, just kind of like this, and more. Big boards, the whole 9 yards. They're year-round draft content, $8 a month, $80 for a year. If you like that kind of content, head on over to daftOnDraft.football. For now, enjoy just this free preview. Get a little taste. But that's all I got. Let's dive in. What's up, everybody? Welcome back inside the film room. Today, we are watching Florida linebacker Myles Graham. Also, I'm going to point this out because I am neurotic and I see it. There is a misspelling on the scoreboard right here. They spelled Georgia wrong. That's embarrassing. You know what? That's just my mind working. But we are watching Myles Graham, Florida linebacker, 5'11", 229 pounds. Let me tell you, I've watched one game of him already. He might be 5'11". He might be sub 230. But this dude is not afraid to hit. This dude is not afraid to punch. He punches well above his weight class. I'm excited to get this tape. I watched the Ole Miss game already. This is my second game of Myles Graham. So I'm coming in with a baseline understanding of him as a player. And now we're about to take it to another level here. We are about to break it down live for you. This is the Georgia game. In this game, he is charted with 7 tackles, 3 stop tackles. He was targeted 4 times in coverage. He was tagged with 3 catches for 42 yards. We'll see, because coverage reps, when they're tagged on PFF, tend to be just like closest man to the football. We'll see if that lines up. Alignment versatility-wise, let's see in this game. We've got pretty much every snap from the box, 47 from the box, 11 from the nickel. So we'll see a little bit of him playing outside the slot. The previous game I just watched was also pretty much predominantly from the box, because that's what he does. He's a box linebacker. So let's watch this game. Let's take a look at the traits. Let's see what we think. Feel free to tell me where you disagree with my eyes and what I'm saying on tape. I'm more than open to it. But let's dive on in here. Again, Myles Graham, number 5 right here. You can tell he's a little bit undersized, 5'11", but, we saw Kyle Lewis just get drafted early. We've seen this wave of kind of smaller linebackers, and again, he is at 229 in the spring. By the combine, he's gonna weigh in the 230s. I would put pretty decent money on it that he's gonna weigh in the 230s. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game of Myles Graham here. All right, we got first down, a little RPO. Give. Kind of engulfed by Micah Morris a little bit right here. Doesn't really fight off the block too well here. But again, he's scraping well with run action. Finds the hole well. Pretty fragmented cutback by Nate Frazier. I'm not super high on Nate Frazier. That change of direction is a little bit why, but do think we could fight through that block. Maybe a little bit better for Myles Graham. All right, we're overhung a little bit here, so I'm going to watch this angle. Again, Myles Graham right here. We're following along here, right there. Again, fitting from overhang. Not a lot to take stock in there. We're stacked up here in the middle. Coming downhill. Kind of twisting outside. Again, not much going on early on in this game. Play action. He's coming on a green dog. Oscar Delp kind of one-on-ones him here. You'd like to see him fight through that, maybe turn that corner a little bit right there. Kind of stalls out. Doesn't quite get the edge there. He is used as a blitzer pretty often as well. I like the level of physicality he brings to the field, though. Okay, we got a one-on-one on the running back here. Let's see how he attaches. All right, he gets cooked up the line. Can't find the ball late. Lucky to not get flagged here. So he does really struggle to attach in coverage to running backs out of the backfield and tight ends. It's something I have in my notes already, but I'm gonna highlight it again. So I'm gonna take a minute to write notes. Again, if this is your first time checking out an Inside the Film Room, I have my notes right here with me on my iPad. I got my Apple Pencil here. I'm jotting down notes as we go through this live. I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. I want you guys to see what I'm writing down. Just kind of the process of breaking down a player live for those who might be early into scouting, want to get into scouting, and what are other people looking for. I'm not going to say I'm a professional or an expert. I've consulted for agents. I talk to scouts. Like, I feel like I have a pretty good grip. I'm not perfect by any means, but nobody is, including scouts in the NFL. It's a very hit or miss industry. So this is all a process of being transparent with my process, so that other people can kind of see what people are watching when breaking stuff down. So he does a good job here. Follows the running back out to the flat. Gunnar Stockton's going to hit the scramble drill a little bit. Doesn't stay attached at that break though. So a little bit of stiffness getting out of those breaks at the top of the routes. But it's scramble drill. It's hard. He can't really anticipate a concept in scramble drills. So there's a little more grace on that. All right, sit middle of the field here. I think it's a blown coverage on Myles Graham right here. The way that these two dudes are on top of each other right here. I think he's got to be spaced out a little bit over into green grass over here. But again, what's the down? 1st and 10. He's got to fit the run first, so that kind of puts him behind the 8 ball. Like, again, there's mesh point action right here. There's run action right here. So he's got to read the keys and kind of play run first, which kind of puts him behind the 8 ball. But he does probably need to bail then as soon as he sees that football pop out into Gunnar Stockton's hands. He's probably got to bail a little bit harder than he does here to get himself back in position. All right, we got a run here from the box. Let's see what we got. Again, Myles Graham right here, number 5. Number 5 right there. All right, so he's fitting here. We got to fit B gap. Doesn't really scrape backside. Gets kind of engulfed by a blocker. He is overhung out here, right on this rep here. Doing these film rooms on linebackers, you kind of overhang a little bit. You got to ID where they're at every single play. It's a little bit more tedious. And man on the line of scrimmage here, so he's setting the edge here on this run action. So he's got to play run first. As an edge setter, this is fine to me. It's an RPO. He's setting the edge and man on the line of scrimmage. You can't really ask him to do much more than that right there on that play without getting himself caught out of position if that ball is given up. They're running away from him a lot as well, which is probably pretty intentional here. Here he's scraping backside. He's playing a little bit contained, so he's not going to go balls to the wall here in pursuit. Because if he does here, and we get to like this point, and he's balls to the wall, I mean, there's not really a cutback anywhere, but what you're looking to do, these 3 defenders here are really looking to prevent that cutback. So they're not going to go balls to the wall in pursuit down the line of scrimmage. They're going to kind of stay home as these defenders force action back inside. You want guys back home to make that play. So that's what's going down here. Another RPO. Again, this Georgia offense is very RPO run action oriented. So he's got to read his keys. Again, the down and distance is 2nd and 10. So not an automatic pass situation. You can kind of anticipate pass a little bit here. Still got to read your keys. Again, run action is all flowing this way. So yes, naturally he's going to take his read steps with his keys here. They're going to boot out of it. Does a good job to rotate out. Again, he's not really in a position to make that play, but does read his keys well up front and on that RPO. Now we got a 3rd and long. Obvious pass situation here with the penalty. So now we're sitting 3rd and 9 here. We got a little screen here. Over pursues it. Over pursues it. Again, Zachariah Branch, he's a hard dude to get hands on. You got to break down a little bit better than that, though. Oh, that's not him. That's number 0. Okay. He also whiffs, though. Branch makes 3 defenders miss on this. 1, 2. Our guy is the 3rd. Graham's the 3rd right here. 3. Got to break down a little bit better than that. 1st and 10. Back to reading keys. He's not on the field, actually. He's not overhung. He's not stacked. He's not on the field. Let's see if he's back here. Still not on the field. Still not on the field. There he is. He's back now. Number 5 right there over the right tackle. Again, Delp just kind of blows him off the ball a little bit here. Just kind of blows him off the ball a little bit here. Want to see a little bit more than that. A little bit more than that. Again, good job reading keys, flowing with the run action without putting himself out of position to step back into this cutback lane. He's stanced up, ready to take on this blocker, which is this run is designed to pop out here. You can see this cutback is opening back up here, so that's where we're kind of looking here. Let's see how Graham reacts here. Gets off the block, puts himself right back in the cutback lane. Running back cuts sharp up. Out of the way, but a good block evasion, good way to sit in his assignment, in his fit, while also being able to scrape back to the cutback here from Graham.